Now, moving forward, and inshallah we're going to be, I'm not going to be stretching this topic very much because I believe many people, they don't like to hear the word. They don't like to hear the word jinn. There's some people who text me and they say, I've got J in my house. I said, what's J? The letter J. They text me and say, I've got J in my house. I said, what does that mean? Oh, I don't want to mention the name, I'm too scared to mention. Come on. It's the creation of Allah. You know, since we started getting scared, we are the Ashraful Makhluqat, right? We are the best of the best creation of this world. We are the Khalifa and Caliph of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this earth. Since we started getting scared, these things started to take over. Before, the jinn used to be scared of us. Now we are scared of jinn. Yeah. What is jinn? Jinn is a creation of Allah which has been created thousands and thousands of years before human had been created. You know, in fact, Iblis was a jinn. You know this? Iblis was a jinn. And Iblis was a powerful jinn that used to rule the world when there were only jinns. So Iblis, today he ruled the shaitanic world. Today he rules shaitanic world. So when these jinns, when we come across the possession of jinns, they're the tribes of Iblis. That is the only type of jinn which trouble us. The rest of the jinns, they live peacefully within their own home. They don't trouble, they hardly trouble us. But those jinn which trouble us are the Iblis. I'm going to come on that. The types of jinn. In the eyes of scholars, there are different types of jinn. The pure jinn. It's like the Quran says jinni to them. You know what Allah says? وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I created human. I'm going to come on that in a bit. But I created human and jinns only for my worship. Only for my worship. So them jinns, the worshipper jinns, they are like us. They have family there. They have kids there. They have desires. They have every single thing. Maybe their food is different. I'm going to come on that as well. But they are same as us. They're living their life normally. Okay. And then normal jinns, which live in every person. And you know, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Quran says Qareen, word Qareen. Okay. It's called Amir. It's either called Hamzat or it's either called Qareen. Hamzat is a Persian word, Farsi word, Farsi. I don't know if you know the Persian, what's the language called? Persian. Farsi, isn't it? Yes. Hamzat and Qareen. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the hadith is there where Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, every single human being have got one angel and one jinn. When it comes to jinn, people call it nafs as well. Yeah, your own desire. That jinn plays any, if you are an outlying person, like going to nightclubs and going into bars and drinking alcohol and stuff, that means your jinn has got power over you. Your jinn has got power over you. And when you are vice versa, when you are reading salah, when you are killing your nafs, when you have to grab yourself and drag yourself for fajr, but you are still doing it, you are killing your nafs, that means you have overpower of your jinn. Does that make sense? Does that make things easy for you? This Hamzat. Hamzat can be good and bad. Now what the magicians do, they control this Hamzat through their dirty readings and stuff, and they make this Hamzat trouble other people. They use this Hamzat to trouble other people. So that is a type of jinn. And then the most gruesome and trouble-worthy jinn, these are called shaitan. These are called shaitan. I've just mentioned the tribes of Iblis is one type of a jinn, and that is from Iblis. Now, in Hadith, Prophet ﷺ said every morning and every evening, shaitan makes his thrown into the somewhere inside the sea, ocean, the shaitan, and he calls everybody. He said, "What have you done today?" He says to the little shaitan, jinns, "What have you done today?" One of the shaitan says, I broke somebody's marriage today. One of the shaitan says, I stopped somebody from praying salah. The Iblis says, okay, sit down. Then one shaitan, little shaitan, comes and says, I stopped a student from gaining Islamic knowledge today. Shaitan says, oh really? Come here. Makes him sit on his lap. Rub on his back and say, you've done a very good job here. Mashallah, you guys are here today to earn some knowledge, to gain some knowledge. We're all here with the purpose of learning, right? But the reward is, you can't even imagine. Right? The last one, and the most dangerous one, which majority of the magicians use, and this is the jinn, these last two types of the jinn that I come across the most. The last one is unstoppable and can go through any barriers as well as very mischief. These are called ifrit. Ifrit. Have you heard this word? This word is in Quran, Surah Jinn. Ifritum min al-jinn. This is the most dangerous jinn. I'm not going to make you scared anymore. Don't worry. Okay. Let's see what Prophet ﷺ says about jinn. Prophet ﷺ, no, just one minute, just leave that, those one hadith first. There are three types of jinn. One which fly in the wind, another which looks like reptiles and insects, snake, insects, all that. So it could be jinn, you never know. Not all the time, not majority of the time, rarely, but it could be jinn. Now when you see a spider, don't just kill it straight away. If it's not harmful, leave it. But there is a hadith of Prophet ﷺ, and before that I'm going to mention a very, very small incident of Hazrat Shah Waliullah Muhaddis Dehelvi Rahmatullah. Shah Sahab, he was teaching in afternoon. After the students went, he started to do his mutala, his reading, his preparation for later teaching. And he was on his own in his class. He saw a snake, a little snake. And he said to that snake, if you are a jinn, get out from here. I'm asking you, for the sake of Allah, if you are a jinn, get out from here. Third time he mentioned it. He didn't go. Shah Sahib killed it. So then, after killing it, threw out and everything happened. At night time, Shah Waliullah Muhaddis Dehelvi Rahmatullah, he went to sleep. Now, as he went to sleep, he was sleeping, he felt that few people grabbed him and taking him somewhere and not letting him open his eyes so he could see where they're taking him. The next minute he opened his eyes and he could see a jungle area, like a forest kind of area, whereas so many different, like a weird looking type of creation. They were all sitting, they have the clothing and everything you could see, the beard and everything you could see. But they don't look like human, they look very like a white. There's a description there as well. I'm not going to go into details. So, Shah Sahib said, what is this? Where am I? Who are you guys? Why have you brought me here? He said, you've got a case going on that some people claiming that you killed their son. He said, I never killed nobody. The judge was there in the court and everything, the jinn court and everything was there. I never killed anybody. He said, yes. He was in a form of snake and you killed him in afternoon. He said, oh. Then he said, I did the act upon hadith and then I killed him. Said, how? The Prophet ﷺ says, if you see an insect or something which you think can harm you, warn him 3 times. It could be a jinn, so warn him 3 times with the name of Allah, and if he still doesn't go, then you are allowed to kill that insect. So I just acted upon that hadith and I did it. Now, as this discussion was going on, there were two jinn sat at the back, stood up and said, yes, we've heard this hadith direct from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. After 1200 years ago, they're saying this until, you can imagine the ages, jinn's age. We've heard this hadith direct from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, the Sahabi, they quoted this hadith again to Shah Waliullah Muhaddis Dehlvi Rahmatullah alayh. And since then, Shah Sahab says, I've heard a hadith from a jinn Sahabi. The Muhaddisun, the chain of the narrators used to be so much matter to them. They used to value the chains. So he used to say proudly, I've heard a hadith from Sahabi jinn. And that hadith came to my ustad as well, with three or 4 chains in between, and it came to me as well. Alhamdulillah, it's a kind of blessing. So the incident of Shah Waliullah Muhaddis Dehlvi Rahmatullah alayh, it happened like this. So what I'm trying to say is, when it comes in the form of insect, and when it comes in the form of reptile, don't just kill it. Warn it first. And then the last one, the third one, which live in a form of beggar and live in tent and huts. Every single human being you see in a weird, very strange or quiet area does not have to be a human. It can be a jinn. You never know. Let's move on forward.
What is the question? When you go to the others, mountain, people in tents.
Yes.
And out of nowhere, where these people.
Jinn used to, like I said earlier on, you're asking about mountain and stuff. Jinn used to rule the world before the human came into this world. Jinn used to rule the world. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Allah mentioned in the Quran, that وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Allah says in Quran, I'm intending to make create a makhluk, such a creation who can be my caliph in this world. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this, caliph, that's when when Hazrat Adam has been sent to this world, all the jinns has been removed from the main areas towards the mountain. So you will come across, mostly jinns and stuff, you will come across in mountains, mountain places. Right. What do Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says?
Can jinns shape shift into anything then? Not only reptiles and insects?
It can, it can. Because jinn can deceive person. Jinn can take any shape, any form. But them jinns, they're the ifrit, they're the danger one. But rarely you find. Now one of the type which change into forms and stuff, you find, but rarely. The majority of the jinn, they've got not much power. No need to worry. And many people, what they do is they're living in such a state where if they come across a shadow or anything, they start to get scared and say, we've got jinn in our house, or what should we do now? I'm telling you, there's no need to be scared. Allah says in Quran, you are the most beautiful creation, human. The most powerful creation. But like I mentioned earlier on, the day when we start getting scared, these things started to overpower us. What do Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran?
I was just going to ask, you hear stories about trees and then somebody goes and does something to a tree, disturbs the tree, and then you see it
Yes.
arrested the person. That can also happen as well.
That can also happen. In fact, I came across one case where the tree, when you ask about tree, one person, he urinated right under the tree and disrespected the creation of Allah, where the Jinn family was living there. Where he just did it. And in fact, the Jinn, the Muslim family, Muslim Jinn family were living there. So he urinated. And he got attacked by them. In the way the attack, it took years and years to get rid of that attack. It was very severe. Made him nearly mental. So make sure, they live near trees as well, so make sure when you respect the place, respect the creation of Allah when you come across trees or anything. Don't just, urinating and stuff like that. What do Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about jinn in Quran? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, first thing first, وَمَا خَلَقَتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us to worship Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made worship farz upon jinns as well. It's farz upon jinn. It's farz upon human as well as jinn. We've been created, our purpose of being created is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These other things fall apart later on. When we are human, we have desire, we need food as well, we need to go and earn money as well, we need to sleep as well, we have to have kids as well, we have to have emotions within ourselves, we have to have, all these things comes later. Main purpose is worship. That's our main purpose. Right. There's one more verse. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and among us the jinns, there are the righteous folk, and amongst us there are far from that, which we are sects, having different rules. Jinns, they have different, there's a different types of jinn. Muslim, non-Muslim jinns. Now, this is from Surah Jinn. I'm going to explain the reason of Surah Jinn has been revealed, the Shan al-Nuzul of Surah Jinn has been revealed. I'm going to explain. Before the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there used to be fortune teller. Still there. They're still there. You find astrologer and all, advertising, and sometimes you get leaflet in your letterbox as well. Them kind of people. We call them fortune teller. Now remember the ruling about fortune teller. As soon as you go to fortune teller and as soon as you ask something about your tomorrow, you come out of Islam. Straight away. And I'm not saying this is the hadith. The fortune teller. I'm going to mention one more incident before we continue. Hazrat Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, in his Khilafat, at the time when he was Caliph, he was hungry for last 4 days. So one person came to him and said, Hazrat, I've got one date for you, if you want. He said, okay, give me. So Hazrat, he was so hungry, so he forgot to ask where you got this date from. Hazrat Abu Bakr, he was so hungry, he was in such a state where he even forgot to ask where you got this date from. He was Muslim, a brother was Muslim, he thought you were Muslim. So he ate the date, and then after that he said, by the way, where you got this date from? He said, oh, when I was not a Muslim, I used to be a fortune teller. And I used to earn money by telling people about their future, and I earned from that. This date was from that money. Hazrat he started to panic. He put his finger in his mouth and started to vomit. Blood was coming out because the stomach was empty. There was nothing to come out. After a few vomit, the piece of the date came out with so much blood. And then after that, Hazrat Abu Bakr said, even if this piece of date would have taken my life, I would still take it out from myself and would die. That's how much, the fortune teller. So before the time of Prophet ﷺ, the fortune teller used to tell people about future. 99% of the things were lie, 1% would have been truth. And the way, how, I'll tell you. Before the Prophet ﷺ, Jinn would have access to the heaven. They would have come and go access. Right now, Jinn has got no access. Since Prophet ﷺ was born, since then, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed the road. The Jinn used to go, and they used to come, and they used to they used to listen to the talk of angels in the sky. And they used to come back and say, angels are talking about this, regarding this person. And the exaggeration, after the Jinn tells something a little bit to the master, and that fortune teller would exaggerate more things into it and tell the person that this is what's going to happen to you. So when the Prophet ﷺ was born and the Jinn went up, Prophet ﷺ has been given the prophethood. After that, the Jinn went up. Couldn't find anything. Why? As they would try to go up in the heaven, angels would throw stars on them to get them away from there. They couldn't have access. They come back, they told the master that we can't go up anymore. We can't hear anything anymore. So master said, some of you jinns go to the west and some of you jinns go towards the east. And find out what is the reason. They started to look for the reason. At that particular time when they started looking at the reason, Prophet ﷺ was walking towards Uqqaz. A place called Uqqaz. And the Salah time came. Prophet ﷺ commanded people to read Salah. They started to read Maghrib Salah. Prophet ﷺ would recite Quran. So the Jinn were passing through and Prophet ﷺ recited Quran. Said, wow, this is amazing. We've never heard this kalam before. And I think this is the reason why we can't go up anymore. And which was the verse? قُلْ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ أَنَّهُ اسْتَمَعَ نَفَرٌ مِّنَ الْجِنِّ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا سَمِعْنَا قُرْآنًا عَجَبًا. When Jinn heard the kalam of Allah, the Jinn says, wow, this is an amazing kalam. We've never heard this before. So this is the incident that happened. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the whole surah in regards to the Jinn. And in that there's one beautiful thing which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and break all the tariqah and all the way of committing shirk. وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ فَلَا تَدْعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. When I went to Makkah, I went into one local masjid and I read this on the wall. Beautiful. Indeed, masajids belong to Allah. Don't call somebody else inside the masjid. Do you understand? Don't ask from somebody else in the masjid. وَأَنَّ الْمَسَاجِدَ لِلَّهِ فَلَا تَدْعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. Don't include somebody else. Some people, they claim they've got jinn and they can do this and they can do that. Stay away from them. وَجَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ شُرَكَاءَ الْجِنَّ وَخَلَقَهُمْ. This is one of the Quranic verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and they make the jinn associates with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just mentioned 10 seconds ago. They associate jinns with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while He created them. And they falsely attribute to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sons and daughters, i.e. Christians. Without knowledge. And that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is pure from all this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has got no son. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pure from son. He is pure from parents. He is pure from all the needs. We leave that in Surah class. Right. This is one more thing. The question arises that will jinn gonna go in Jahannam? Are they gonna go in Jahannam as well? Or we just human gonna go in Jahannam? Are they gonna be questionable for their things, and after the question answer, will they have Jannah and Jahannam as well? Allah says in Quran, وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. You know when you need to make a fire, you need to create a fire, you have to gather petrol, wood, sticks, all that. Allah says, I created, the things for the hell from human and jinns. The things that can cause the fire of hell from human and jinn. Basically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I'm going to turn the fire of hell from jinns and human, which are there. Further on, Allah says, لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ أَعْيُنٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا وَلَهُمْ آذَانٌ لَا يَسْمَعُونَ بِهَا. This is from human and from jinn. They have the ears, they have the eyes, they have their heart, but their eyes can't see the truth. Their ears can't listen to the truth. Their heart is not willing to accept the truth. The truth of Allah and His Rasul. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. That truth. Then Allah says further on, they are like animal. They are like an animal. In fact, they are worse than animal. So, my point of bringing that Quranic verse here is just to tell you that jinn will have question and answer on the day of judgment for their wrongdoing. We all know Shaitan's going to go in Jahannam anyway. I'm just talking about the normal jinns. If they harm you without any valid reason, without any, the qisas is one thing. Of course, a person urinating under the tree is going to have the problem because it's causing them problem. They're going to take the revenge. Yes. إلا ما رحم ربك ولذلك خلقهم وتمت كلمة ربك لأملأن جهنم من الجنة والناس أجمعين. This is one of the verse again, which prove that the jinn and human, both the jinn is going to go in Jahannam as well. The fire of Jahannam has been created for them as well. Allah will fill the jinn and human with the Jahannam. Right, this is one more verse. Verily he shaitan قبيله يا بني آدم لا يفتننكم الشيطان كما أخرج أبويكم من الجنة ينزع عنهم لباسهم ليريكم. So the shaitan, the jinns, they can see you, you can't see them. So this verse is indicating that, the question is, can we see the jinn? I want to see the jinn. Many people say, those who become a little friend with me, they say, can I see the jinn? I put that verse to them. Jinn and shaitan, you can see them, but they can't see you. You can see in the form of shadow, that's the most. The shadow means, because they've been created by a flame, smokeless flame. And they've been created by a smokeless flame. So when you look at the smokeless flame, how would you see it? Like a shadow? Is it like a hard body or shadow? Shadow. They look like shadow. So many people, one of the family came last year to me from Blackburn. They took some pictures, I don't know, amazingly how they took pictures of jinn. I could see that flame, and which has got face inside. First time in my life I've seen that. وَجَعَلْنَا خَلَقَنَاهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ مِنْ نَارِ السَّمُومِ. The jinn we created aforetime, before. This is the verse which I was just smokeless one. Aforetime is many, many years ago. Nobody can say it's 10,000 years, nobody can say it's 5,000, not an approximate, it's not a definite word, years, approximate numbers. What do Prophet ﷺ say about jinn? It's going to be very quick, inshallah. Do not perform istinja. Do not clean yourself. In other words, do not relieve yourself. Alhamdulillah, we use tissues here. We have facilities, water, tissue and all that. But in India and Pakistan and other places, this is the only reason I'm bringing this hadith is the existence of jinn. My whole purpose of We're going to come on to the topic where what's the possession be like, what's the symptoms be like and stuff. We're going to come on that. I'm just proving the existence of hadith. Why? Because many people say there is no such a thing called jinn. And if they say this, they are neglecting, they are rejecting Quran and hadith. When they say, just because they didn't have it, just because they've never seen it, they can't deny it. This is Aqidah, Quran. Do not perform the istinja with bone and dung. Why these two?
Dung, cow pop. Back in India, Pakistan, they use the dry algae as a source of fuel for fire.
That's right.
Is that okay then?
Yes, they use for fire, yes. But whereas this hadith, it can come across that as well. But that's their need, you see. They didn't have any other option. They could not afford petrol and fuel and stuff to fire. They had to do this. But Prophet ﷺ said, do not perform istinja with dung, nor with bones. For indeed it is provision for your brothers. Prophet ﷺ said, your brothers. Are you scared of your brothers? Brothers among the jinn. There's incident behind this as well, that the jinns came to Prophet ﷺ, the Muslim jinns, and complained and said, arrange some food for us, we are struggling. Then Prophet ﷺ made dua to Allah, and then Prophet ﷺ replied to them and said, you know what, from now on, whenever you will be passing through any bones or anything, that bone will turn out to be the fresh meat for you again. Allah will put that's going to become your fresh food for you. So after that dua, that's when Prophet ﷺ said, don't use these bones and the dung to relieve yourself. Yes, the Kareem. When I mentioned about the Kareem, this is one of the hadiths where Prophet ﷺ said, constant companion, Kareem, person with jinn. I just mentioned it earlier on, now I'm bringing the hadith on it to prove whatever I explained earlier on. Ibn Masud radiallahu ta'ala said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, there is no one of you who does not have a jinn. Every one of us have a jinn. That is Hamzan. I mentioned earlier on. If you become a good person, as in namaz, everything, you have overpower over him. If you turn out to be the wrong side, because Allah says in Quran, فَأَلْهَمَهَا فُجُورَهَا وَتَقْوَاهَا, I have created seed of goodness and badness both inside you. It depends on you which one you want to grow. So the Prophet ﷺ said, then the Sahaba, the Prophet ﷺ said, every person have Hamzan. Then the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, you too? Have you got Hamzan as well? I mean, have you got the jinn with you as well? Prophet ﷺ said, yes, me too. But Allah had helped me and He has submitted. i.e., He had accepted Islam in my hand. Now is the over control part that I mentioned earlier. You can have a control over it. So that He only helps me to do good. Help here means He helped me not to disturb me when I'm doing an act of God, when I'm worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When I'm worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this jinn does not trouble me. He helps me stay good. This does not mean Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, na'uzubillah, taken any help from jinn. Further on. The delegation of jinn from Nasibin came to me. Then this is where I've just mentioned the incident of Ya Rasulullah made dua for us. And it's in Bukhari Sharif. They came and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam prayed for them, and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whenever you will pass through by bones or droppings for the animals, droppings are for the animals, just remember that. But they would find food on them. Right, jinn possession. Where do jinn live? Where do they live? The place mountain and stuff we just explained earlier on. That these are the places where the jinn which trouble us live. Now we're only going to be talking about those jinns which we come across, troubling bit. Now the stories and existence and everything is done there. I'm just going to be only explaining those jinns which comes in human life and trouble us. They live in toilets. They live in bathrooms, dunghill, garbage dumps and graveyard. These are commonplace. It does not mean they only live here. They could be somewhere else as well. The wrong places. You can say nightclubs. You can say pubs. Places like them. Impure places. This is why Prophet ﷺ says, I'm going to be bringing the hadith underneath as well, just think, where do Muslim jinn live? These three are the common places. It does not mean this madrasa has got jinn. I am telling you right now, don't get me wrong, please, stay positive here. Mosque, madrasa, any similar Islamic places, and good jinns. They want to do worship as well. They have been created to do worship. So they want peace as well. That's why they say when you go in Jamaat and stuff, make sure you stay in a state of purity all the time. Don't stay in Jamaat Khana, where we read namaz in impurity state. Stay in purity. Why? Respect the unseen makhluk, unseen creation. Going back up toilet side, toilet, bathroom, dunghills and all them, how can we prevent ourselves? Let's see what Prophet ﷺ says in terms of preventing. Says, whenever enter the toilet, he would say, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal khaba'ith. When we read this dua, that means we have gained the protection of Allah from all these evil things. We have gained it. I always encourage, make sure you read dua. Make sure when you enter in the house, you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Make sure you read Surah Ikhlas. Make sure you read Ayatul Kursi. These are the prevention. These are main prevention. Because I come across one case where as one brother run at night, I still remember it was 11, half past 11, not long ago. That brother said, my wife was okay until he came out of toilet. She came out of toilet and she's acting weird and something happening to her. So, dua. We need to do dua here. We need to go and pray dua. We never know. The majority of the time the jinn are in there. That does not mean any of you be scared of going to toilet. Just read dua and go to toilet. And bathrooms as well. These are the necessary things where we go there, we do our things, what we need to do and come out. Graveyard, majority of the magic happens in graveyard. Majority of the magic and majority of the jinn rituals happen in graveyard. We need to prevent from that as well. Go into graveyard, do what you need to do, Isal Sawab or whatever, visiting their family members' graves. Don't just sit down in graveyard and just start talking to your friends and stuff like that. Graveyard is not for the worldly things to do.
Let's say dua for the graveyard.
Sorry?
Let's say dua for the graveyard.
Dua, no. When we go to graveyard, we don't pray that dua. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-khubuthi wal khaba'ith. We just do the salam. Salam itself, Prophet ﷺ says, Afshu salama bainakum. When we do salam, the interference of shaitan goes away anyway. When we do salam to our brother, normally, this is what I just mentioned earlier on. Yeah, that's right. For the graveyard. That is salam as well. So, assalamu alayka ya ahlal qubur. When we say this salam, when we do this salam, the interference of shaitan moves away from it. The Prophet ﷺ, when we enter in the house, we say salam. Whether somebody in the house or not, you just say salam. Any invisible makhluk, any invisible creation will listen to you. And if they're Muslim, they will respond to your salam. If they're not Muslim, they'll move away from there. Right? Because you are mentioning Allah's name now. Right. What are the symptoms of jinn? So let me start with a story of Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam and the power of jinn. Them jinns are specifically connected to Hazrat Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam. Because Quran says Sulaiman alayhi salatu wasalam has been given the kingdom of the whole world. And kingdom not only for the human, the kingdom of jinn, kingdom of air, kingdom of animals, every single thing that is in this world, Hazrat Sulaiman has been given the kingdom of. And like I mentioned earlier on, our beloved Prophet ﷺ has been offered as well. But Prophet ﷺ, he said, I don't want to be in a situation where I stay my life, I live my life by being a king of the world, and my ummah later on will be struggling financially, struggling with poverty, hunger and everything. So Prophet ﷺ's intention is that if any of you, any of my ummati will come across any problem in regards to poverty or anything, they should use me as an example. Right? Hazrat Sulaiman has been given the kingdom. Now, I'm just going to share one incident which Quran have mentioned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it in Quran. Whereas Hazrat Sulaiman used jinn to get the throne of the princess of Yemen, Bilqis. Later on she accepted Islam and then they got married. Sulaiman got married. But the way the incident happened was, Sulaiman was in his throne, sitting. And when Hazrat Sulaiman would sit down, he would call every single pair of animal and everything that belongs, that is in this world. Birds, animals, every single thing. He would call and he would interview them. So everybody was there and Hazrat Sulaiman was taking a kind of attendance for everybody. And he could not find the bird called Hudhud. Now Hudhud is, you don't find them birds anymore. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken them birds away. Even though some scholars say them birds still, they existed still. But we don't see them because they live far away from where the human being lives. Well, the bird, they would fly for days and days without any need. They would fly like the airplane fly these days. The journey of days and days they would fly in just few hours. So Hazrat Sulaiman said, in my attendance, I can see everybody, I don't see Hudhud. Ma liya la ara al-Hudhud. Am kana min al-ghaibin. Surah Naml. Allah says in Quran, where is Hudhud? I don't see. Let him come. I'm going to punish him. لو عذبنه عذابا شديدا. The reason that Sulaiman said this is because he was the master of everything that was there at that time. So he said, where is he? I'm going to punish him. So when the Hudhud came, he came late. He attended the class late. So when he came, he straight away surrendered. He put himself on the ground, on the floor, and he said, I am sorry. I am surrendering myself and deeply apologizing for my late attendance. Hazrat Sulaiman said to him, where have you been? Why did you come late? He said, I was coming through, as I was flying through, I've seen a makhluk that worship the fire. And they have a princess and they have a big kingdom there. Hazrat Sulaiman said, okay, is there any other kingdom in my kingdom? Who are they? So they're the people who worship fire, and they're the people who do the wrong things and not worshipping Allah. They don't know anything about Tawheed, they don't know anything about oneness of Allah. So then Hazrat Sulaiman ﷺ did Alan. Right, can anybody bring the throne of that princess here, and how soon they can bring? One jinn said, I can bring the amount of like a moment, a moment, an hour. Said, no, I need it any more early. So another jinn gave another time scale. All the jinns were giving time scale. One jinn stood up and said, I can bring that throne within the blink of an eye. I can bring that throne to you within the blink of an eye. So Hazrat Sulaiman ﷺ allowed him, and he brought the throne within just a blink of an eye. But don't forget, these days, today's day, nobody can do that. Them days are gone. Them jinns are no longer to be seen in humans' eyes. Now the previous ummah, that he was the prophet, that's why he's been given this ability. So if somebody claimed that he can fly, and he can go in 5 minutes from here to Makkah, and he can do anything, and that's all just a story. Okay, so what are the symptoms of the jinn? Should we start? Yeah. The symptoms, these are just, just go to the previous page. I just want to mention something. Can you see that red writing there? It says clearly here. So these only apply to those individuals who do not suffer from any mental health or any kind of health issue. If you are going through any mental health issue, then you should go to a psychologist. Sleeping a lot, extra sleeping. Some people, they sleep for 14 hours and they're still tired. They want to sleep. So they should go and get themselves checked. Not sleeping at all, that's one of the reasons. These are the symptoms of the possession of jinn. And when I say possession of jinn, it does not mean that jinn is actually inside you. It can mean that jinn has been appointed for you, or jinn just attached with you, around you, just to play around with you, just to like give you a trouble. Not sleeping at all. Yawning all the time. Even if you had enough sleep, yawning. You're sitting somewhere, yawning. You're talking to somebody, yawning. Seeing nightmares on a regular basis. This is one of the major symptoms. Seeing nightmares. Now, again here, just to create and build a little bit positivity inside you, seeing nightmare one-off is not an issue. It's just a coincidence. Seeing nightmare nearly every day, that is the problem. That is where that person should get checked. That he should have a jinn possession. That's why he's going through a nightmare. What kind of nightmare? I'm just going to a little bit briefly explain. The nightmare is constantly seeing snake. The snake, the actual meaning of seeing snake in the dream is referring to hasidin, jealous, enemy. The people, you have enemy. That does not mean necessarily you have jinn. That means you have enemy who is active and doing some sort of activities behind your back. But seeing a nightmare can be seeing yourself into some sort of danger where somebody's keep coming, killing you. You can see actually the jinn or the actual face, or somebody's just coming in your dream and saying, I'm here appointed to, mess about with you and stuff like that. There are so many other things that can be seen in the dream. So many people, they come to me and they share their dreams. And when they share their dreams, so many things come out. Right? They see toilets a lot in the dream. They see, all the time they see toilets. This shararat, we call it like a game of a jinn, play a game with you. Now, seeing shadow around you, this is a common symptom as well. When you are in the house, when you are in the room, you see shadow moving around you. But don't be a fool of your own shadow. Yeah? You might be seeing your own shadow and thinking, oh, that's a jinn there. The shadow means you see actually shadow moving around in your room. You see from one place to another place, another place to another place, moving around. Them kind of shadows you see. You need to get checked if you see them. Get harassed in their sleep. That's the worst nightmare. Getting harassed in the sleep itself is a worst nightmare. Whereas I come across some cases that they get harassed in a very inappropriate way. I don't feel like saying that, but when I say inappropriate way, is the sexual harassment. They go through that. They don't feel like sharing that with me. So they write it down in a piece of paper and they show it to me. This is how the jinn troubles. When you actually get the bruises. When you wake up, you get the bruises in your body. You get like somebody strangling you. Somebody sitting on your chest. And when you wake up, you don't see nobody there. That is one of the symptoms. Blackouts. Anybody who gets blackouts? Now blackouts, when I say blackout, it's from the two reasons. One is your sugar level. Get your sugar level checked by a qualified doctor. If your sugar level is okay, then the blackout is the symptom of a jinn. That all of a sudden something, a darkness come around you and you can't see and you feel like you're going to fall. Just for a second, just for 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you become better again. That is blackout. Hearing voices. That's common. Hearing voices. And when I say hearing voices, it's actual voices. Not that your thoughts. When your thoughts are playing with you, you either have magic, you either have OCD. This is, when I say hearing voices, actual voices. When a person loses full control of themselves and the jinn takes over his body, that is the actual possession. That is when the jinn is inside you and talking in his own form. But when he talks in his own form, this point should be noted that he's lying. 99% he's lying. 1% he's probably be telling the truth. So when somebody is possessed by a jinn and you're asking him where you came from, he's going to say, I came from South Africa. He's going to say, I came from Jannah. He's going to say all sorts. Or he's going to say, I've been appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give this brother or sister guidance. We say we've got Quran here, we don't need your guidance. Right? If you want to guide somebody, you guide yourself. Guide yourself, disconnect yourself with Iblis and become Muslim. Don't trouble me. So, a person loses his control, then in that case, that person should not be left alone, remember. That person should not be left alone. In English, they call it split personality. You ever come across this word? Split personality. A person, 1 minute he is okay, everything is fine with him, next minute that person is talking all sorts and he is acting all sorts. Feel like someone is always following you. That happened to many youngsters. That happened to many people that they feel like somebody is always following you. In fact, at one point I was reading an article, NHS recognizes this. They recognize this. And they have some sort of like a chaplaincy people, volunteer people from our Muslim community within their hospital and their places. So they do recognize this as well. Paranoid. Getting paranoid over little things. Getting paranoid. As soon as you hear news, as soon as you hear something, you start getting paranoid. that you could have something inside you that is basically not taking this news in a right way. Say example, I'm standing here. I may have if I have something inside me, and if I get the news, some bad news or something which dislikes the person who's inside me, then my reaction will be different. Usually, example, if somebody comes to me and say, your car tire is flat, I would be normal, okay, no problem, I've got a machine in the back, I can sort it out. But if I have something inside me, my reaction would be different. That's what I mean by paranoid. My reaction would be different. If I have no jinn, nothing, my reaction would be calm. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. Come on, it's just a tire of a car. If I've got something inside me, I'm going to be punching on the wall, I'm going to be doing all sorts, showing my anger and different reaction. And the last one, feel like someone is stopping you from salah and any religious activities. Now this stopping means physical stopping. This does not mean internal brain stopping, because brain stopping, if it's just a thoughts and stuff, that's magic, that's going to come forward. So your question will be covered there, but this is just physical stopping. So it's like me stopping this brother, going forward with my hand, using my physical strength, them kind of stop. That's where it's referred to here. These are the symptoms, common symptoms. Is there anyone? So we have discussed and learned the possession, the symptoms of the possession. Now, what are the causes of jinn attack? Why do jinn attack me and you? Why do we get attacked? What do we do wrong that we get the possession of the jinn? First thing first, not staying in purity. When I mean by purity, I'll tell you the example using hadith as a reference. But in Fazail Amal and many places you get this hadith. It's a very famous hadith. Whereas Prophet ﷺ was passing through a graveyard, and he said to the Sahaba who was with him that this person of the grave is going through the torment of the punishment in the grave. The Sahaba asked, Ya Rasulullah, why? What did he do? Prophet ﷺ said, because he wasn't being careful urinating. He wasn't, many youngsters, it's very, very shameful, but I would like to say here up front, so that you can educate your Muslim brothers further on. They don't know the ruling of istinja. They don't know the ruling of, urinating. They don't know the actual sunnah, how Prophet ﷺ would relieve himself. Need to sit down. Standing up and, going, the drops goes all over your body. That is the main cause of the jinn, because the jinn, the nafaq and the impure jinn, they like these kind of stuff. They are very attached to this. If we stay most of the time, if we stay in the impurity state, this is the thing we're going to get from the jinn. Because they like these things. Whereas, if you put a nice itar on, which is sunnah as well, Prophet ﷺ said, one of the beloved things to me is putting a nice fragrance on. Putting a nice itar on. Whereas instead of putting itar, we urinate on ourselves. And that's what's going to happen. Right. Another thing is listening to music. Listening to music. There are some music which actually worship somebody. You know that? I don't know if you ever come across that kind of music. But in the music, somebody is getting praised and worshipped. And we are enjoying that music. Now when we are enjoying that kind of music, when I say music, every music. Music is haram. That's full stop. There's no denial to that. But when I say musics, there are certain music which are very much attached to the tribes of Iblis and tribes of Dajjal. And the music, when you listen to music, you are participating the rules and regulation and the enjoyment and the celebration of Iblis. Does that make sense? The music. So avoid the music. If you are addicted to listen to music, slowly cut down and finish it. When I say slowly, it does not mean after 30 years. Slowly means try and cut down. Instead, listen to Quran, read Quran yourself. Listen to the Quran, read Quran yourself. And then going to inappropriate places. Inappropriate place, we've discussed later on, we've already discussed a bit ago, when I say inappropriate place, it's nightclub, pubs, places where no segregations, places where your eyesight is not protected, places like, this is one of the things that reminded me, when people, somebody asked a question earlier on, are we okay to contact you and come to you? There's one restriction when they come to me, and without that, I don't see them. The condition and the restriction is bring your mahram. Especially when the sister comes, bring your mahram with you. Bring your brother, bring your father, bring your son or somebody with you. Don't come on your own. And in fact, I have sent some sisters back in the past from my door. From my doorstep. I did not allow them inside. Why? This is the reason. They have something in them, they are alone. If I start to recite Quran, if they get uncontrollable, what am I going to do on my own? Spending unnecessary time in bathroom and toilet. Some people enjoy bathroom and toilet, I don't know why. I don't know if you come across them kind of people, but I do. Sometimes people come and say, I'm spending 45 minutes, 1 hour in bathroom. I say, what do you do that long? So I feel like I'm not pure, I'm not parking. You're going to scrub your body and take all the skin off, I think. Okay. Keeping pictures, photos of living things within the home. I would like to mention a hadith here, an authentic hadith which is in Sahihain, muttafaqun alayh. لا تدخل الملائكة في بيت صور ولا كلب. Angels don't enter the house where there is picture or a dog. Now, picture of a living. When I say picture of a living. Picture does not mean picture of a mountain and like good scenery and stuff. That's fine. Picture, when I say picture of human. Some people would like to put their wedding picture on. Some people, they like to put their friend, their kid's picture and put it on. And that includes teddy bears, all the toys which contains eyes. That does not mean we should throw your kids' toys away. That means let them play during the day. Once they finish playing, put it somewhere, hide it. Put it inside wardrobe or something. Hide it. Why? Angels do not enter the house. When angels don't enter the house, as we believe, the Prophet ﷺ said, you read Ayatul Kursi once at night before you go to sleep. Allah appoint 2 angels. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala appoint 2 angels to protect you all night. Right? As a promise, Allah will send the angels there. But if you have picture inside the house, are you protected? You're not protected. The angel will be waiting outside. How the angel will be waiting outside, let me tell you. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he prayed his Zuhr Salah. And Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salatu salam came and said, I'm going to see you at Asr time again. Prophet sallallahu said, okay, fine, inshallah. After Asr, Prophet ﷺ went inside his Hujra Mubarak, his room, and he was waiting for Hazrat Jibreel to come. Hazrat Jibreel didn't come. Maghrib time came. Prophet ﷺ read Maghrib. After Maghrib, he came back into his room again, waited for Hazrat Jibreel, did not come. Isha Salah came. After the Isha, Prophet ﷺ started to worry now. What happened? Angel never break the promise. What's happening here? The Prophet ﷺ, I don't know if you heard in history that the Prophet ﷺ's room had two doors. One door would go towards the outside of the masjid, and one door would connect it to the Jamaat Khana. So Prophet ﷺ, out of the Ghabrahat, out of the worry, came out of the masjid using another door, and he saw Hazrat Jibreel standing there. So Prophet ﷺ said, "Oh Jibreel, angel never break promises. What's happening?" He said, "I came here at the time of Asr as I promised, but I could see under your bed a little puppy. So, like a dog, basically. Dog. And because of that, I could not come." The Prophet ﷺ quickly went inside and just opened the chadar, and he saw the dog there. That's when Prophet ﷺ said, "La tadkhulul malaikatu fi bayti surun wala kalb." So if you want the protection, and if you don't want to welcome the jinn, make sure you do this. Photos. So when you go home, make sure there's no photo inside the house. If there is photo, and you want to keep the photo as a memory, because it was your wedding photos, what to do is hide it. Hide it somewhere. And you only open it when you want to bring your memories back. And put it back. There's a massive ikhtilaf behind the photos, but our maslak is not to have photo. Our maslak and our kabiyin, the tarz and the tariqah and the path of our pious predecessors, not to have any photo. We are taking selfies here. Our Facebook is full of photos. Our WhatsApp and everything is full of photos. Here, just with the protection purpose, inside the mobile, if you have pictures, it's fine, because you turn the mobile off. It's not on always. It's fine. Especially when your kids cry at night time, and some people said to me, my kid, he's crying all night and he's pointing his finger at something. I think he could see something. And I straight away my reply to them is, because you don't have no protection. Why? Because the baby cot that you have, on that baby cot there are plenty of cartoons. In fact, your son's blanket has got so many teddy bears drawn on it. So we need to, as a Muslim, our duty is to protect our house by doing all these things. Not reading du'as before sleeping and before entering the toilet. There are zikr azkar, our past predecessors have made the zikr before we go to sleep. Ayatul Kursi, 4 Quls, Surah Fatiha, Dua, and so many other du'as as well. The sleeping dua we only know is Allahumma bi'ismika du'a. That's all we know, right? There are other du'as as well. You find in Bukhari Sharif. You find it, inshallah, we've got the booklet there. You'll find it there as well. Read them du'as. And read with the intention, firm intention, and having the firm faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that after reading these du'as, and after doing all my zikr azkar, there is no way, nothing in this entire world which is going to harm me, apart from death. Nothing in this world, there is no creation which is going to harm me. Why? Because now I have 2 angels with me. Any activity that pleases Iblis, again, the music and anything that you do, talk ill about somebody, ghibat, all the sins, drinking alcohol, zina, or any other sin that pleases Iblis. Because when you please Iblis, Iblis don't want to leave you. And he'll try his best not to leave you. He promised, he challenged Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, I'm going to make sure I take your slaves with me in Jahannam. But on the other side, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have accepted the challenge and said, my true slaves will not come under your traps. Why? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created us for the purpose of the worship, and a true Muslim will not come under the trap of Iblis. So try and repent. Try and repent. Anything that we are doing in our life right now, we should try and repent. Coming back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Repenting ourselves. Asking for forgiveness. Whatever we've done till yesterday, no problem. Let's start a new life. And another thing is, which is so much common in our community. The more we scared of them, the more they enjoy and continue to harm. This is one of the things. I've been mentioning this from the beginning of the course. That the day when we started becoming scared from them, they started making us scared more. Just take them as a mosquito, as a fly. They are not. Why? Allah says in Quran, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ إِن كُنْتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Don't be scared. Don't be upset. You will stay on top as long as you are mu'min. As long as you are a believer. So, when a person finds out he's got jinn, and when a person finds out he's got any sort of possession, whether it's magic, whether it's jinn, anything, just keep that point in mind. Don't be scared. Take it easy. Don't worry. Why? Your life is still in Allah's hand. This jinn can't take your life. He's just going to make you scared, that's all. Don't be scared. Going out in a state of impurity, especially after Maghrib, or especially at the time of Maghrib. I would say this to my sisters as well, and everybody. Now, when they are not in a state of purity, they should try and avoid to go as less as possible outside, especially at the time of Maghrib. You know why we have makruh time? You know why we have makruh time? Anybody know the answer? One of the reasons we have makruh time for salah is because that's the time of devil worshippers. They worship devil. At that time, instead of reading salah, instead of staying at home and waiting for Maghrib to happen, what we do is everywhere. We are everywhere. Restaurants, all public places we are. Then these things happen. One of the sisters I came across about a month ago, she had a jinn from New York. She got possessed in New York. Where? In a nightclub. She was okay. But you know, I don't blame the daughter. I would blame the parents who would allow the daughter to go on her own on a big trip, New York, with friends. Of course, we as a parents, we don't know what they're doing then. All we think is, okay, they're just with friends, it's fine, no problem, so what? No, then these things happen. Right. The things we should not be doing while we are possessed. First thing first, don't share with anybody and everybody while possessed. So say example, if you come to me or anybody, any healer or anybody you go to, don't say to, after you've been told that you are possessed and you need treatment. No problem. Don't come home and, get all excited and everything and say, oh, you know what, I'm possessed, I've got jinn. Be careful. This is not something we should share about. Come on. This is an illness. We should hide this illness. And pray to Allah. So what we do is instead, we say, no, you know what, we've got possession. Bro, there was 6 jinns. This is how we talk, right? Okay, try not to go out unnecessarily. I've just mentioned earlier on as well. While we are possessed, not to go out. Try not to go out. I always, in most of my treatment, when it comes to possession, I always say to people that you are not allowed to go out. Restricted. If they say they've got work, so how can you go to work? You've got Jinn inside. Just take leave. Just take a signal. They say you're not well, you need some, just say to them, depression tablet or something you need to take off. You're going through some sort of treatment. Right. This is one of the things which we come across when we are in the possession. Any satanic thoughts. Shaitan will tell you why, because shaitan here means that jinn, which is inside you or around you. That shaitan will tell you, what's the point of praying salah? You haven't even done wuzu properly. This, وَمِن شَرِّ الْوَسْوَاسِ الْخَنَّاسِ, that's waswas. It will give you that waswas. Waswase, like satanic thoughts. One of the thoughts is, do you know you are even Muslim? And you try and pray salah, you will bring some sort of like idols or something in front of your eyesight, and you'll start to worry, oh no, oh my God, what am I thinking? I shouldn't be thinking like this. It's not in your control. But let me tell you the good news about this. In my website, Pure Islam, I have a website going on Pure Islam. There I have explained in details. I have full article written there in terms of waswasa and thoughts. Whether that waswasa is due to possession or whether it's not due to possession, it's just a normal waswasa. So in that article I mentioned the hadith. That hadith is a group of people came to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, asked Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, we are getting some crazy thoughts. Very, very dangerous thoughts. Thoughts about Iman. Thoughts about dirty things. Imagination and stuff. The reply to them from Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, thoughts are forgiven for my ummah as long as they don't act upon it. Do you know the mercy of Allah? How more merciful Lord you want. The mercy, no extent to the mercy. There's no limit to His mercy. Prophet ﷺ said, for my ummah, thoughts have been forgiven as long as they don't act upon that thought. For example, if I get the thought of going to nightclub, it's just a thought. I'm not acting upon it. So if I'm not acting upon it, am I going to get guna? No. Because I'm repenting, I'm keep fighting to my thoughts until I become better. So don't go to anyone for treatment who you can't trust fully. It's going to brainwash you. That's one of the things that's happening. Don't go for somebody who don't know what he's doing. Why? I'll tell you. You have one jinn, you got it from somewhere. Now that person would want to impress you. And the way he would impress you is when you go to him, he'll say, you know what, you've got 6 jinn. One is in your ear, one is in your head, one is in your leg. And they've been sent by this people, and they are, all these. Why? A person is already scared. Why do you have to make him more scared for? Give him the treatment. Do the job. So until you don't know who you're going to, make sure don't just go and, because there are so many, Molana was explaining earlier on, so many from Firqa Khatib as well, Shias, Qadianis, they're wearing same topi, same hat as me and you, they're wearing the same jubba as me and you, they have the same beard. But لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. They don't have iman in there. Indirectly, they are magician deep down, undercover magician, but they are telling you, no, we're not. We are healer. They will even use some sort of excuses as a weapon to say, oh look, we don't even charge. So how can we be dodgy? We don't even charge. Now I'm going to come on treatment. Okay? The treatment and the prevention of jinn possession. I want you to focus here. I want you to concentrate here. This is something which I want you to take it from here. A person should stay in the state of wuzu all the time. Now the virtue of wuzu, none of us are unaware of. None of us are unaware of. We all know the virtue of wuzu. When we perform wuzu, our sins are getting washed. That's one of the main virtue. We are in the state, if we say one of the virtue of wuzu is when you sleep in the state of wuzu, and if you passed away at night time, you will be called a shaheed. What more do you want? Stay in the wuzu. Because wuzu is an act of worship. Wuzu itself is an act of worship. So stay in wuzu. Yeah, that's different thing for sister. If they're not in the praying state, that's fine. They can still keep themselves pure. They can still keep themselves externally pure. A person should be in the state of cleanliness all the time. So when I mentioned about urinate and stuff, that has to be done. For you to get better from the jinn possession, you have to be in the state of cleanliness all the time. The person should recite Surah Baqarah once a day for 11 days or 21 days. This applies to those who's capable of doing this, who's got time and capable. This is the best of the best treatment. And you know what, the sister have asked a question as well there. So we are here now, so I'm just going to, I remembered, so I'm going to clean that, make the answer as well. I think the question was something like, what if the jinn possession don't let us read? You know, we are in the treatment process, and what if something's stopping us from reading? Of course the Satan is going to stop you. But your mind play a bigger role here. When you get the stop, you sit down and first of all calm down and don't think about the stop. Just think, if it stops me, Allah will stop him from stopping me. So keep your intention firm, intention of shifa, intention of cure. Your intention will let you continue reading that. Your intention will let you continue reading that. And if you still struggle to read, then inshallah you should see a healer. Or allow somebody else to read on you. If you get taklif, him reading on you, you get taklif, don't worry. Little bit patient. As I mentioned earlier on, the virtue of being patient, because you have to be patient here. We understand you are going through taklif, you are going through big pains, but you have to be patient. There is no other way out. Right. Surah Kauthar should be recited on himself 111 times before the bath with hands inside a bucket full of water. You did something else then for the nazar. Here you will be doing something else. Similarly, that bath amal, but Surah Kauthar. Now you know, Surah Kauthar is very good in defense of enemy as well. When you have an enemy, and you know zalim, the person somebody who does zulm upon you, and somebody who is genuinely your enemy, and you just want to save yourself from being oppressed. Surah Kawthar is the best zikr. All you need to do is
How many times?
111. Make the intention. There's two digit here. One is 111. And if somebody is, mashallah, very good at reading and he is constantly doing zikr and stuff, you should recite 313 times. 313 times. Surah Kawthar. This particular zikr here right now with the bucket, that's for the jinn possession. But when I said about enemy, you can read this same zikr, because inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that your enemy is going to go down. You know, indeed, Allah will punish your enemy. And don't let them overpower you. Allah will not let them overpower you. Like, ruqyah should be performed by a qualified reciter. Ruqyah should be performed by a qualified reciter. Recite manzil daily. When you go, before you go, inshallah, we've got some hard copy of manzil. Take it with you, inshallah. It's a very, all the zikr and everything has been compiled into one little booklet. All you need to do is morning, evening, manzil, 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 with the intention of shifa. Keep your tongue occupied with Durood Sharif. This is one of the weapons we've been given against these makhluk. Durood Sharif. Read Durood Sharif as much as possible, especially when you are in this state. Because Durood Sharif will keep you calm. Durood Sharif is a Jamali zikr. It keeps you calm. The more you read Durood Sharif, the more you stay calm. Have full faith in Allah's kalam and know that the shifa comes only through His hukam. You know, the shifa comes only through that healer will heal me. You know, that healer will heal me. That healer is better than this healer. That Raqi is better than this Raqi. That Molana is better than this Molana. No. That is wrong. No Molana or no healer can claim to be the best. They will work out according to their knowledge. You've got to understand. Shifa is from Allah. Let me use that brother as a source. What if Allah gives me shifa in His hand? That's how our thinking and our thought should be. Right. After every salah, recite the four quls depending on the effects, depending of, you know, the time scale. Some masjids, they get close very quick. But by the time you finish 11:21, brother will say, you know what, you'll be closing masjid, get out now. You've done enough ibadah. It happens. Sometimes it happens. So after every salah, you read either 3 times, 7 times, 11 times, or 21 times, depending on your time. Now, of course, when you're at work, you can't read. It's fine. We understand, no problem. Read after Fajr, read after Isha. Avoid the 3 namaz time, no problem. But read. The more you read Quran, the more that jinn is getting hurt inside and you're killing him basically. You're killing the jinn inside. Another thing, after every salah, recite Ayatul Kursi. Depending on the severity, again, affects 3 times, 7 times, 11 times, 21 times. Now, let me tell you an amazing story about Ayatul Kursi. Imam Ghazali rahimahullah. Some scholars says about somebody else, some scholars says about Imam Ghazali, but this incident I found in a few different books. He was in a journey, and in his journey, at evening time, he got to a strange place. He didn't know where he is and stuff. And he wanted a stopover. He wanted a stopover, like a place where he could stay at night time, a room, a rented place, a motel or something, hotel or something. They couldn't find anywhere. So he found a shopkeeper. He said, where can I find a place where I can live? So the shopkeeper looked at that person and said, he looks pious. Why don't I offer him my house? He might have some power. I've got jinn in that house. Why, if he stays there and he can do something, so I'll get better as well. So he didn't tell that person, that brother, he didn't tell that. I think it's Imam Ghazali. He didn't tell Hazrat that what's inside his house. He said, okay, I've got a place, you can live for free tonight, no problem. So Imam Sahib went inside his house, and as soon as he went inside, he started to hear the voices, the noise, some screaming and all sorts. Kids playing, laughing, and he checked the whole house. He couldn't find a single body in the house. So he understood what it could be. But he didn't bother. He fell asleep. He started to go to sleep. Now, as he was going to sleep, they started troubling him more by making noise, not letting him sleep. So he started to read this Ayatul Kursi. As he was reading Ayatul Kursi, each time he was reading Ayatul Kursi, when he gets up to the verse, وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ, he would read that 3 times. Then start again, Ayatul Kursi. Then he would read that verse 3 times. Last, وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. So he did that again and again, and now he started to hear the voice crying. The people are crying there. He started to hear. And then crying stopped. All of a sudden crying stopped. The last voice he heard is, you killed us with Ayatul Kursi. Then he fell asleep. And when he woke up, he found the ashes in the house all over in the morning. That is the power of Ayatul Kursi. That is the power of Ayatul Kursi. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gifted us these things. All we need to do is bring these things in our life.